This man wrote his name 4 times on a piece of paper and put it on the absorbent towel so that he could make the woman he loved correspond to his feelings. While he is doing this, a woman is coming up the stairs, almost to where he is at that moment. And the man hears her approaching, so he tries to do what he was doing as fast as possible, so as not to be discovered by anyone. Then the woman enters the room seconds later. Finding the man there, she asks him if he has already packed his things to leave. He explains that only a few shirts are missing. The woman says that if it's a lack of help, she might as well help him at that moment. Then she starts to take all his clothes from inside the closet, putting them in the suitcase, so that he will leave as soon as possible. The husband asks his wife not to do this to him, questioning whether she is sure about this decision. The wife replies that she is sure, and pushes him to leave their home, ordering him to leave immediately. When she returns to the bedroom, she is too tired, and ends up finding the absorbent towel that her husband left there. After that, she goes to the bathroom and uses the same absorbent towel. She then leaves the room and doesn't notice anything strange. Later, the man goes to meet a woman, and she says that she already knew he would come to her. The man angrily tells the woman that he did everything she told him to do, wrote everything down on paper, and nothing worked. The woman asks him to be calm, because he needs to trust her more. And the man says that he hopes everything will work out this time. And the woman confirms that this time it will work. She says that the man should trust her, because if he doesn't, he should leave. The man hopes that she really isn't wrong this time. The woman says he should trust, because she has another job that will pay off big time. And he says he really hopes it will work out. Then the woman starts laughing, saying that first of all, the man must pay for the work, because spirits don't work without money. She orders the man to make the payment. And quickly, the man gives all his money as payment. Then she takes all the money, while laughing. And the man says he wants his job now. The woman then shows him a cockroach, as she explains that he must take the insect and put it in his wife's soup. When his wife eats it, the job is done. Then she orders the man to get the insect quickly. And he does as he's told, hoping that it really works. The woman commands him to follow all the instructions, for now everything will be all right. Soon after, the man leaves, a little frightened by everything that is happening, while the woman continues to laugh alone, totally ignoring the fact that the man has left. In another moment, the husband says that he is happy that his wife has agreed to eat noodles with him. The waitress soon approaches, wishing the customers good evening and leaving their order on the table. She wishes them a good appetite and says they can call if they need to. Then the wife excuses herself, saying she is going to the bathroom, and gets up from the table. Taking advantage of the moment alone at the table, the man quickly takes the cockroach from his pocket, puts it in his wife's food and hides it so that she doesn't notice. Minutes later, she comes back to the table and sits down in her seat, not realizing that her husband is making fun of her at that moment. Then she starts to eat in silence, not even noticing that there is something different on her plate. Her husband asks her if the food is tasty, and she replies that it is, but then she notices the cockroach on her plate and starts screaming in disgust at it. She calls for the waitress immediately and walks away, saying that she needs to wash her mouth out. She comes back to question who did this to her. The husband asks his wife to calm down, but she doesn't want to calm down. She just wants to know where the waitress is. Soon after, the waitress approaches. Desperate, she questions what is going on. The woman tells her that she found a cockroach in her food, but the waitress is sure that she didn't have it on her plate before. The customer, however, does not believe her, saying with irony that the cockroach must have appeared as if by magic. The waitress says that this was not the restaurant's fault, that the woman will have to pay for the dish. But she refuses to pay for that dish, and her husband tries to calm her down. But the customer shouts that she will call the police on them. The husband quickly pulls his wife to leave the restaurant. Meanwhile, the wife blames her husband for her eating that disgusting dish. The man tries to explain that he only wanted to please her, but the wife makes it clear that he didn't please her at all. Soon after, the same woman meets him on the street. And the man says it's good that he found her, because he would like to tell her to her face that nothing she promised worked out. The woman asks him to be calm, for she did what she could do. But the man says that she is one of the most incompetent women he has ever seen. Then the woman sprays him, scaring him, and the man collapses on the floor. Moments later, he wakes up in a totally different place. He's startled to find the woman there, and asks her what he's doing there. She explains that the man fainted, but he knows it's a lie. But the woman denies it, saying that he just fainted, and she took him to her own house. Even so, he still doesn't believe the woman. She screams that the man fainted, maintaining her lie. The woman asks him to stay calm. And scared, he promises to stay calm, while standing in the middle of that circle of candles. The man finds a little red box there on the floor, and as he takes it in his hands, he wonders what it could be. He ends up finding his wife's underwear in there. And inside the box, he finds a folded piece of paper, and opens it to read what is written, promising that she will pay for everything. When he turns around, he is startled by the woman behind him. And says it's good that she's standing there, calling her a bandit. He pulls the woman's wig and recognizes her immediately, but the woman screams that the man will be hers, and hers alone. Meanwhile, the man says he will never be hers, calling her filthy. She orders the man to shut up, for he will be hers, and no one else's. Then the man says that if she pursues him one more time, he will report her to the police, then calls her filthy and leaves. She is angry at all that has gone wrong, but goes back to her work, laughing in the midst of her anger. Again, the man goes after his wife, because he needs to talk to her at that moment. When she opens the door, she can't believe she sees him there, and questions what he wants in her house again. The man asks his wife to just give him a minute, because he only needs to explain one thing. So she eventually agrees to let him speak, but to be brief. The husband says that he loves his wife very much, but he has made a mistake. The wife wants to know what he's talking about, and he explains that he did a job so that his wife wouldn't leave him. This makes his wife incredulous and indignant, so she slaps her husband and calls him a cheeky bastard. He tries to argue, saying that he loves his wife, but she can't believe he had the nerve to do that to her. The husband says he loves her, begging his wife not to leave him, but she orders him to let her go, making it clear that she will never forgive her husband, and that he should stop insisting on it. But he doesn't stop, and asks his wife to listen to him. He explains that all the hatred his wife is feeling was his wife's work. And the wife orders him to explain himself. Then the husband explains that the wife wrote on a piece of paper that they are going to separate, and thinks that's why they are just fighting all the time. But the wife says that this is not only the wife's fault, but also the husband's fault, for never being present in the house. He knows he has made a mistake, but he wants to fix all his mistakes. He promises that everything will be all right. The wife says she doesn't know if this is what she wants. But the husband promises that things will be different from that moment on, that he will be a better man. Then the wife confesses that she loves her husband. The husband is very happy, and promises that his wife will not regret her decision. There are treasures you can't buy, love is one of them. So cultivate and take care of the person you love,